Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. The son of a Hollywood executive was arrested and charged with the alleged murder of his wife and the disappearance of his in-laws.
Now turning to that gruesome discovery on Wednesday in Encino, a torso of a female found in a dumpster. Tonight, frightening new details emerging surrounding the home of the man who's been arrested. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher joining us now live in studio with more. Michelle?
Mark, as investigators say they continue to look into many leads, a timeline is coming into focus here, with police first getting notified Tuesday that something was amiss at the Haskell family home.
The night before a woman's torso was found inside an Encino dumpster, officers were dispatched to the home of Samuel Haskell and his wife, May Lee, for reports of a possible dead body.
West Valley as possible, DD 4115 Coldstream Terrace, 4115 Coldstream Terrace. Monitor comments. So here standing by in front of Topanga.
The person reporting the crime calling from outside the LAPD Topanga station.
The radio call November 7th at about 5:30 p.m. Involved a suspicious bag that possibly contained a human remains. When the officers responded, nothing was located.
The LAPD hasn't confirmed details on who made that initial call, but say when they returned to the home Wednesday, they found blood inside. What investigators did not find were missing family members May Lee and her parents.
The following morning, when I understood that she and her parents were missing, my heart dropped. Completely shocked.
Samuel Haskell IV is being held without bail on suspicion of murder, although no formal charges have been filed. Haskell IV, the son of Hollywood executive Sam Haskell Sr., who resigned as the CEO of the Miss America organization after a 2017 email scandal. The suspect's mother telling Eyewitness News tonight the family did not have a comment on the gruesome allegations her son is now facing.
And tonight, DNA results from that dismembered body are still pending. Investigators also still looking for two vehicles, a white Volkswagen Tiguan and a white 2014 Nissan Pathfinder.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place on November 6th in Encino, California, 35-year-old Samuel Haskell IV was arrested and charged for the alleged murder of his wife, May Haskell, and is going to be investigated in the possible disappearance and murder of his in-laws, Goshan Lee and Yangxing Wang, who disappeared 2 days before a homeless man made a gruesome discovery while searching for bottles to get for recycling. Now, in this alleged incident, Samuel Haskell IV allegedly hired several day laborers to haul away heavy black trash bags from his home in Tarzana on November 7th. And as these day laborers were hauling away the trash, which they were told was rocks and decorations, they noticed that the weight and texture of the material inside was not consistent with rocks or decorations. And as they were taking this trash away to be disposed of, one of the workers opened one of the bags and found human body parts, and this is where the 4 day laborers then contacted law enforcement to report the body parts inside. And the homeless man who was looking for recyclables also reported the female torso that he found inside one of the bags. And after doing an investigation, the Los Angeles County Police Department then went to the home of Samuel Haskell IV And after performing a search warrant, they found evidence of blood inside of the home which Haskell lived with his 3 children, and then went to arrest and charge him with murder. Now, the LAPD sees this as an isolated but gruesome incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged actions of Samuel Haskell, they fit the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And one of the possible motives for these murders could be Samuel Haskell's feelings of powerlessness, and these feelings of powerlessness could be the reason why he not only looked to murder his wife and his in-laws, but also be the reason for the gruesome and vicious way that he mutilated their bodies before looking to dispose of them like trash. Now, in the case of many beta males, they are used to submitting to female authority figures, and this could possibly be the main motive for Samuel Haskell looking to take the lives of his wife and his in-laws. Now, in Asian tradition, usually the man is the one who not only marries the wife, but in some cases, he oftentimes brings the in-laws to live with him. And this is a recipe for disaster when it comes to a beta male. Because with a beta male, he is used to submitting to female authority figures, and he's used to giving females power over him. And oftentimes with a beta male, when he's out here and he gets involved with a woman, he's oftentimes looking to submit to her authority, and this could have led to the foundation for the power struggle that led to the possible motive for the murders of Samuel Haskell's wife, May Haskell, and her in-laws. Now, as Samuel Haskell got married to May Haskell and established a home with her where he lived with her and the in-laws and the 3 children he had with her, he was possibly feeling emasculated and powerless as he abdicated his power and authority as the head of household and gave it over to his wife. And as he gave his power over to his wife and allowed her and her in-laws to run the home, what happened was he was feeling frustrated about not having any sort of power and agency over himself in his home, and this led to him having resentment that he harbored inside of himself. And as he harbored this resentment about the woman and her parents having control over the home he built and established, what he did was simmer and boil in anger, and he possibly was simmering and boiling in anger in his own home for decades, and this possibly was the laying of the foundation for the motive for murder, because with beta males, they are used to having female authority figures in power passively, but aggressively, these men are harboring a lot of anger inside of them. And as they harbor that anger inside of them, most people don't know that they're dealing with a ticking time bomb that will possibly explode in a rage. And the scary part is most people are oblivious to the danger that's around them from this beta male. Now, Samuel Haskell, who was the son of an executive, was possibly used to being in the face of a very powerful father, but the whole problem is that he wasn't used to having power of his own, and because he wasn't used to having power of his own, this is why he was just quick to give it away when he got married. And then as he got married to this woman, he was again seething with all of this anger and of seeing all of these people having more control over his home and his children. This possibly was the thing that led to him to explode in a rage on November 6th. and looked to take the lives of the people who he thought had all the power in his home. And after taking the lives of all of those individuals who he thought had all the power in the home, this is where he felt scared and looked to try to make his world smooth, because with beta males, they really don't like dealing with conflict problems or obstacles. So in order to maintain the smoothness of his world, this is where, after possibly taking the lives of his wife and his in-laws and mutilating their bodies, he planned to dispose of their bodies like garbage and make it like for his kids like nothing had ever happened. And this is where he contacted all of these day laborers, believing that the day laborers would just dispose of the trash that he told them, because he thought these were illegal immigrants who would work for cheap and not really say much about anything. However, these day laborers knew something was wrong as they were removing this trash from the home, and that's where they noticed these human body parts that were thrown away. And this is where the homeless man noticed these body parts, and it just shows how cold that Samuel Haskell was towards people who he allegedly was supposed to love. And this was all an expression of his contempt for all of these people who were a part of his family, and he was expressing his contempt for all of those people after he exploded in that rage, because he felt angry about them having all the power in the family relationship and the family dynamics, and him having absolutely no power whatsoever. And in his effort to take his power, he looked to take their lives, and after taking their lives, he wanted to get more power by taking away their bodies and destroying their bodies and disposing of them like garbage. This is how he felt a way of taking back his power. This is what Samuel Haskell, I believe, wanted to do, because he felt like he was not the head of his household. He felt like he had no say in his home, and that was all due to the dysfunctional way he was raised, because oftentimes beta males are afraid of taking their natural masculine power and taking their natural masculine authority. Oftentimes they are told that they do not have any power by our gynocentric culture and our gynocentric system. And because these men feel powerless as related to regular life, they look to take their power through violence. And that's possibly what Samuel Haskell did here in this case. He looked to take his power by taking the lives of his wife and his in-laws, who he felt were dominating him, and in his effort to subjugate them, he hoped to destroy their lives, destroy their bodies, and show them that they were nothing by looking to dispose of them like trash as he looked to go on with his life. Now, after Samuel Haskell did this, he basically was looking to go on with business as usual. However, there was just way too much evidence in his home to say that he didn't know anything about these disappearances, and with all of that blood, it led a possible trail that will lead to Samuel Haskell going from being the son of a Hollywood agent and the former president of the Miss America organization to possibly, if he's convicted, winding up becoming an inmate in California's penal system, where he will find himself in a place where he will not have that power like he had when he committed these violent crimes, but he will find himself subjugated by the COs and the criminal justice prison system, social system, where Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles will be showing him who is the most powerful in the penitentiary, as they trade him for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Fritos chips, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, snack pack puddings, packets of soy sauce, packets of Lay's chips, I mean, they're going to be turning him out, and he's going to be getting body parts rammed up inside of him as he's spit roasted, and as Mr. Sprinkles sprays special sauce all over his face, he's going to realize that it was a major mistake to go out here and look to take the lives of his family, because he's going to be in that penitentiary for the rest of his life possibly, and in that penitentiary he's not going to have anybody there to be there for him, and in that penitentiary he's going to realize it would have just been more simpler for him to go out here and deal with conflict in that home from going head to head with his wife and his family, rather than having to deal with the prison family of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles, as they turn him out and make him the prison bitch in the penitentiary. But sadly, many beta males, the main reason why they wind up participating in crimes like this is because these men feel like they have no sense of power or agency in their lives. And because they feel like they have no sense of power or agency in their lives, they don't go out here and look to deal with conflict by going out here and asserting what they want. No, instead of going out here and speaking directly to the people they have issue with, they harbor all of their anger inside. And as they harbor all their anger inside, what they do is let things escalate to a point where they explode in rage. And after they explode in rage and participate in a heinous crime, that's when they try to make their world smooth. But sadly, what happens is their world gets rougher, and it gets rougher because these men just don't have the male life skills or the male survival skills to know how to deal with things that men deal with every day as related to life, such as conflict. And because these men do not know how to conflict resolve, they escalate things into conflicts of extreme violence. And as they escalate things into extreme conflicts of violence, what they do is put themselves on a road from becoming a man with a successful career to becoming a man in crisis in the penitentiary. And what's really disturbing here about this entire incident is that this guy basically showed the kind of depraved behavior that serial killers participate in, because it's serial killers will go out here and look to murder people and then look to dispose of their bodies like garbage because they don't see people as human beings. But this is something that beta males do because they don't see people as people. And because they don't see people as people, they don't go out here and want to have a conflict with people to resolve conflict. No, they want to live in a smooth world where they don't have to deal with people. And because they are detached and disconnected from people, they believe that when they go out here and take the lives of people, they can get their power by being like a god over them and destroying their bodies. So this man was a very, if these charges are proven to be true, a very twisted individual, because he was looking to go on with his life with his 3 children and have his smooth world, not caring about the life of his wife and her in-laws. I mean, this whole incident is one of the more troubling ones, but it just shows me how deep the man crisis goes as related to America and the West, because here we have the son of a successful executive Hollywood agent, and even though he came from a whole family of success, he still wound up on the paradigm of failure because he didn't get the proper male life skills or male survival skills from his mother, or in the case of his beta male father, because his father was forced to resign from the Miss America organization, which he was a president of, due to sexual harassment allegations. And that possibly shows me that this boy was raised by a beta male father who wasn't a man, and sadly, because his father wasn't a man, he raised his son to become a man in crisis. And as this father raised his son to become a man in crisis, we saw the father follow the son on the road to the paradigm of failure. Now, if you want to learn more about the dysfunctional behavior that beta males participate in and how it leads to them winding up participating in tragic incidents like this, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you'd like to see me make more videos about men in crisis, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.